Everyone in Jericho believed the walls would save them, but when the walls came crashing down, only one house remained standing. Inside that house was a woman no one expected God to use. Her name was Rahab, and one decision changed her destiny forever. So what if the person God chose to protect his people? What if it was the person everyone else had already written off? What if faith didn't come from a priest, a prophet, or a king, but from a woman living on the margins of society, inside a doomed city, behind enemy walls? This is not just the story of Jericho. This is the story of Rahab, a woman whose single decision changed her destiny forever. A woman who chose faith over fear, truth over survival, and courage over reputation. Let me take you back to a city marked for destruction. Jericho was not an ordinary city. It was one of the oldest and most fortified cities in the ancient world. Tall stone walls surrounded it. Watchtowers stood guard day and night. Gates were locked tight when the sun went down. Jericho was confident. Jericho was proud. Jericho believed it was untouchable. But beneath the confidence, there was fear. Because word had spread, stories whispered through the streets, stories of a powerful God who split the Red Sea, a God who drowned Pharaoh's army, a God who fed his people in the wilderness, a God who defeated kings and nations. The people of Jericho felt it deep in their bones. Judgment was coming, and inside this city lived Rahab. Rahab lived on the city wall, not in the palace, not among the wealthy, but on the edge. She was a woman known by her past, labeled, judged, dismissed. She was a prostitute. And to the people of Jericho, Rahab was someone you whispered about, but never listened to. Yet Rahab saw things others ignored. She heard the rumors. She listened to the stories. She believed what others denied. While the rest of Jericho trusted their walls, Rahab knew walls could fall. And then, one night, everything changed.
Joshua, the leader of Israel, sent 2 spies into Jericho. Quietly, secretly, they entered the city under cover of darkness. And somehow, their steps led them to Rahab's house. It may have been a coincidence, or maybe destiny, but Rahab welcomed them inside. But Jericho noticed. The king was alerted. Foreign men have entered the city. They are spies. Soldiers were dispatched immediately. Heavy footsteps approached Rahab's door. As their knuckles pounded against the wood, they thundered, "Bring out the men who came to you." In that moment, Rahab stood at a crossroads. She could protect herself, or trust the God she had only heard about. She chose to have faith in God. Rahab hid the spies on her roof, covering them with stalks of flax. Then she opened the door, calm, composed. "Yes, the men were here," she said. "But they left before nightfall. If you hurry, you may catch them." The soldiers ran off into the darkness. And Rahab had just risked everything. That night, Rahab climbed to the roof. Her voice trembled not with fear, but conviction. "I know that the Lord has given you this land," she said. "We have heard what your God did. Our hearts melted. The Lord your God, He is God in heaven above and on the earth below." This was more than belief. This was surrender. Rahab asked for mercy not just for herself, but for her entire family. The spies made a covenant with her. "There will be a sign," they said. "A scarlet cord. Hang it from your window. Scarlet, the color of blood. The color of protection. The color of redemption. If your family stays inside, they will live." Rahab agreed. She lowered the spies down the wall by a rope. The same wall she once trusted for protection. Imagine the days that followed. Rahab waiting, watching, wondering. She tied the scarlet cord in her window. Neighbors passed by, unaware. Life went on in Jericho. But Rahab gathered her family. Stay inside, she warned. Do not leave. Trust me. Faith is hardest in the waiting. No walls had fallen yet. No armies had appeared. Only a cord. And a promise. Then one morning Israel arrived. Not with weapons raised. But with silence. For 6 days, they marched around the city. Once a day. No battle cries. No attacks. Jericho laughed. On the 7th day, they marched 7 times. Trumpets sounded. A shout rang out. And the walls, the strong walls Jericho trusted, collapsed. Stone by stone. Tower by tower. The city fell. Fire consumed Jericho. But one house remained. One window still marked. One family spared. Rahab's house stood firm. Rahab was led safely out. She became part of Israel. Part of God's people. Her story didn't end in Jericho. She married. She had a son named Boaz. Boaz became the great-grandfather of King David. And generations later, Rahab's name appeared in the lineage of Jesus Christ. From rejected to redeemed. From outsider to ancestor of the Messiah. Rahab teaches us something powerful. Faith is not about your past, it's about your choice. God can use anyone willing to trust Him. Salvation often begins with a single brave decision. When the walls fall. When judgment comes. When fear surrounds you. Will you trust the walls? Or the promise? Rahab chose the promise. She trusted God. And it changed everything.